Ma'am, can you change the go to the Word document and okay. So configurations till now, create controlling area using transaction code OKKP is done, and set controlling area using transaction code OKKS is done, and set versions using transaction code OKEQ is done, and create controlling number range using transaction code KAMK is done. Okay. Then what we need to do is we need to have the information of the cost element accounting things and all. Okay, so go to the Word document, ma'am. Just try to write down cost element accounting. Just try to write down in the note, Word document, cost element accounting. See, all these things are under in configurations only. Okay, cost element accounting. Okay, and at this cost element accounting, you will going to have the number of details. Okay, or else you can just try to put, ma'am, cost element accounting summary. Cost element, no, here only, side heading only, you do have cost element accounting, right? After the accounting, you can just put a summary. You can just put summary. Good. Okay, so this is the cost element accounting summary. And first in that thing, we do have the configuration. What is that configuration is create primary cost elements. Create primary cost element. Create okay, so create primary cost element. So using transaction code KA01 or else using transaction code KA01 or else you can have different types of ways, to reach out to the cost elements. Okay, one way is transaction code, that is KA01. Another way is when you go to the transaction code FS00. Alternatively, you can able to find out the edit cost elements. When you click on the edit cost elements, it will be redirected to the KA01. So that is the choice that we have right now. Then next one. First, you need to know what do you mean by primary cost elements? Okay, how we can able to have the primary cost elements and secondary cost elements in our SAP system based on the controllings and all. Okay. So those things are mandatory first of all. Okay, so primary cost elements is nothing but these are used for expense GL accounts other than sales deductions. Okay, primary cost elements is nothing but these are used for expense GL accounts. Okay, other than sales deductions. You got my point? Then next one, sales deductions means what? This cost comes from sales and distribution using transaction code VKOA. We know it very well. Okay, and this cost flows to the controlling profit center accounting. Why? Because it's a sales deductions, right? Okay, once you are done with the expenses and revenues, okay, automatically that flow will be moved to the profit center accounting. Okay, so here you need to have one more point, ma'am. That point is category 01 cannot transfer cost from sales and distribution to the profit center accounting. First of all, there will be external settlement. Okay, what do you mean by external settlement? Move cost from CO to FI is very, very important. So that is why we will going to raise the cost center accounting reporting. Okay, then next one, transfer of internal orders from cost, internal order cost from controlling to the FI. Okay, and we will going to see what do you mean by internal orders and how it will be used in the controlling. You will going to know the details. No issue. The next one is revenue. These are used for sales or revenue GL accounts. And we need to have the internal settlements. This internal settlements is used to settle service order to cost objects. Okay. And cost centers, internal orders, production orders, sales orders like this. And I will just give you the formal example of how we can able to have the primary cost elements. At the same time, how all these things are connecting to the product costing, and why we are why we are settling the cost to the particular primary cost elements and all, you will going to know. The example is that you will go into the store, that is Ratnadeep or Metro or anything. Okay, more supermarkets like this. And for each and every month, you will going to buy the soaps. Okay, for your family only, you will going to buy the soaps. Suppose the soap name is PS or Santur or anything. So in that one pack, you will going to have 4 soaps. So that pack is cost us around 120 rupees or 130, sorry, 150 rupees. Okay. And your estimation cost is 140 rupees. Suppose per month, you will going to buy the one soap of the particular packet. Okay. I mean packet soaps of that particular packets and all. Okay, that cost is around 140 rupees. But more market estimation price is 150 rupees. And throughout the year, you will going to buy the soaps, right? So 140 into 12, how much it will be? 140 into 12, how much it will be? 140 into 12. Okay, 1,680 rupees. Okay, 1,680 rupees. Then more supermarket price is 150 rupees per pack. 150 rupees into 12. How much it will be? 1,800 rupees. So 1,800 rupees minus 1,680 rupees is equal to how much? 120 rupees is the loss for your particular product. Okay, based on your estimation. So same like examples of raw material consumptions and rents and wages, salaries, all these things will be estimated by your organization only to get the revenues or to get the loss. You got my point? Ma'am, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So same like so you can connect with the real world examples. Take out your family expenses, take out your own expenses and all, how you are estimating the expenses and how you are creating the balance sheet for your own family. What are the expenses? What are the revenues? On which product shall I invest something? On which product shall I remove the expenses? All you need to know is how we are estimating the expenses and revenues. That's all about controlling of the particular organization. Okay, so for that thing, we will going to have different types of concepts like cost, create primary cost elements, create secondary cost elements, create cost center accounting, create profit center accounting like this. Okay, so meanwhile, we do the configurations of all these things. Then after that, we will going to use the different types of internal orders and product costing. There is no issue. But for your sake of examples only, I'm just giving you the solutions of all these things. Just that is the simple examples. Okay, so the next one is we do have the work in progress. Okay, work in progress means what? That is used in product costing first of all. Okay, it is required for calculations of work in progress or result analysis, we can call it as. See, for work in progress, there are two accounts: work in progress balance sheet account and work in progress P&L account. Okay, suppose what is the period? September is the what period? April, May, June, July, August, September. So September is the sixth period. So for period 6, work in progress balance sheet account is direct revenues and work in progress P&L account is credited. And period 7 is next period, that is October. Beginning of the work in progress P&L account is DR, direct revenues, and sorry, that we can call it as a debtors. And work in progress balance sheet account is creditors. That is the beauty of the particular product. The next one, indirect overheads. See, this is just for your interview preparation only. Whatever the points that we are telling, and you should tell all these points in front of the interviewer. Okay, so indirect overhead cost is very, very important. That means FI cost of two types of FI cost is of two types: direct cost and indirect cost. You know it very well. Direct cost is like material is traceable to the particular product. Indirect cost is like administrative expenses are not directly traceable to the particular product. Indirect expenses means what? Rent, salaries, wages. These are the indirect expenses, right? For you, it is not related to the particular product. So client can provide certain percentage of the material costs, say 10% or anything, which can be assigned as indirect overhead cost to the particular product. That means you are estimating the product price for the particular product, right? So that is why indirect overhead costs are also very, very important. See, why we need to use the cost element category? Okay, it is used to transfer the values from cost center to the profit center accounting. Example, transferring marketing department costs to a profit center accounting, and transfer cost from one cost center to another cost center. Why we need to why we need to have the direct overheads, that we can call it as an activity cost elements. It is used to transfer cost center cost to product based on time spent on job, particularly. For example, labor cost activities and assembling cost activities and all. Okay, so we do have all these things. First of all, you got my point? So creation of the primary cost elements, we can able to use the transaction code KA01 on what basis? On what basis? And also revenues. You got my point? So now what we need to do? We need to create the different types of cost elements. Okay, what are those cost elements? Do we have any cost elements in all?
Rent.
Okay, what we need to do is, ma'am, you can just go to the transaction code FS00. You can just go to the transaction code FS00. We will going to try to create the materials accounts. Okay, so under this expenses only, do you have any expenses, ma'am? Under this expenses only, you can just try to create one more thing, ma'am. And in the administration, we do have rent account and we do have salaries accounts and all. What we need to do is create one salary account, ma'am, under this administration accounts only. Create one salary account. Yes, and give the short text that is rent account. When it comes to the accounting groups and all, it will be related to the P&L account, statement account only, all of you. Okay, Then next one, under this control data, everything is same. Okay, accounting currency is INR and sort key and line item display. Okay, and creator bank interest field status group is Z001. Okay, yes, go to the save button and save it. Okay, we have created the one administration account, that is salaries account, and under this expenses, you can just create, ma'am, raw material consumption account 1. Take out the under the expenses. No. Go to the expenses, not the administration. Go to the expenses. Under this expenses only, go to the create option. Create one raw material consumption account 1. Raw material consumption account 1. Okay, create it. Short text is, see, you can able to have balance sheet accounts that will be redirected to the P&L accounts only. Definitely. Why? Because we are estimating the costs for all these things, right? Sort key, line item display, sort key, everything is same. 001 and create or bank interest is a field status group is Z001. Okay, right. Then go to the save button and save it. Then next one, raw material consumption 2. Raw material consumption 2. Just give the raw material consumption 2. Raw material consumption 2. Go to the save button and then next copy this thing and create raw material consumption 2 also. Just remove the short text 1. Just give the 2. Good. Go to the save button and save it. Then next one, under this expenses only, we can able to create the wages. Under this expenses only, we can able to create the wages. These all are related to the organizational expenses and revenues only, all of you. Okay, most probably there will be no revenues here. Okay, there will be a expenses. Based on that expenses, you will going to get the revenues. Okay, that will be shown in the profit center accounting. Okay, there could be some reasons. Okay, and you might have seen different types of expenses and revenues. Okay, but the thing is that how you are calculating all these expenses and revenues. Okay, based on which grouping you are estimating the prices, and for each and every product, how you are allocating the hours. Okay, also important. Right. So then next one is we need to create a lot of more accounts, ma'am. Okay, that is direct material. You can just create direct material. I can just create direct material here. Just create direct material. Direct material. Field status group is a Z001. Everything is same. A line item display and sort key is 001. Go to the save button and save it. And then next one, when it comes to the administrations and all, we have created the salaries. We have created it, right? Okay, no issue. Leave it. Under the sales, you can just create one more account, ma'am. That is sales income. You can create one more account, that is sales income. You can just create sales income. Everything is same. Okay, then next one is under the depreciation. Do we have depreciation accounts, ma'am? Under the depreciation, you can just create anything. Depreciation. Create a depreciation account 1. Create depreciation account 1. Create depreciation account 1. Create depreciation account 1. The next one, ma'am, under this expenses only. Under this expenses only, you can just try to create direct selling expenses. One more account. Under this expenses only, you can just create direct expenses account. Sorry, direct selling expenses. See, all these things are examples only. So that is why I'm creating. I want you to create different types of accounts on the primary cost elements and on. That is very, very important. Okay. Direct selling expenses is there, right? The next one. Next, what we need to do. What we need to do, the next one. Okay, sales commissions also we need to create, ma'am, and create one sales commission also. And this thing only create
Sir,
expenses.
account, sir.
Sales commission.
In expenses account.
In expenses only.
Okay.
See, expenses are two types, ma'am. First one is interest expenses and normal expenses. So we do have expenses account. So that is why I'm creating sales commission in the expenses account only. Okay, ma'am. The next one is cost of goods sold management, or else cost of goods manufacturing. We can call it as a. You can just create a one more account, ma'am. See, all these things are, see, material consumption account is one expense. Staff expenses is salaries expenses. Sales income is a salary. Sales income is a sales income. Depreciation is a depreciation accounting group. The direct selling expenses is a interest expenses. We will going to have a lot of accounts, all of you. But I'm just creating all these accounts in one group only. Okay, that we can call it as an expenses accounting. Cost of goods management or manufacturing. That is one account. All right, and the next one, cost of goods sold account also very, very important. So it is under manufacturing expenses only. Create one more account, ma'am. That is cost of goods sold account. See, why I'm creating all these things? See, for your reference only, I'm just creating all these things only. Okay, all these GL accounts and all. For your reference only, you can able to have each and every cost estimation on all these things. Okay, if your organization is dealing with some of the expenses like rents and salaries and all, that's it. We can able to estimate the product. I mean, rent buildings particular estimations. So we get done with all these things. Then uh, the next one is create primary cost elements. Okay, how we can able to change the cost elements. Okay, here you do have edit cost element. Okay, directly you can just click on the edit cost elements, or else you can just go to the K01 transaction code. You can able to find out all these things. Okay, but we will going to do the cost element category changing in the FS00 transaction code only. Okay, so cost element we can able to take out the account. It will take a lot of time. Okay, so open the administration, ma'am, and go to the rent account. Click on the rent account and go to the edit cost element. Okay, so you can just click on the enter. Sorry, give the valid from is 01.04.2023. Click on the enter. And when it comes to the cost element category, okay, go to the cost element category, ma'am, and primary cost or cost reducing revenues. Yes, give that thing. Change the, you can just change the description here. Remove the rent account. No, name is same thing only. And remove the description. Just in the description, you can just give you can just give administration rent category. Administration rent category. You can just give administration rent category. Administration rent category. Administration rent category. Okay, go to the save button and save it. We have changed the cost element category. Okay. Yes. Then next one. Salaries. When it comes to the salaries. Yes. Go to the edit cost elements, ma'am. Go to the edit cost element. Click on the enter. Yes. Here in the cost element category, you can just give primary costs or revenues. Yes. And change the description, ma'am. Administration or else administrative sales category. Administrative sales category. Administrative sales category. Go to the save button and save it. Then next one. Go to the direct material consumption. Raw material consumption 1. Go to the edit cost element, ma'am. So here in the direct material, you can just give 1. That is primary cost elements and all. Go to the save button and save it. No need to change any descriptions and all. The next one, raw material consumption 2 also same. Wages also same, ma'am. The primary cost elements. Then next one is go to the sales income, ma'am. Click on the enter. Cost element category. Open the cost element category. This is revenues. Good. Go to the save button and save it. Next one, depreciation. Go to the depreciation, ma'am. You need to change the depreciation as 018, ma'am. That is, go to the edit option, depreciation account. Go to the control data, ma'am. Okay, good. Depreciation 018, and go to the create or bank interest. Create or bank interest. Just change the field status group as Z052. Z052. This is a reconciliation accounts, so that is fine. Give the assets. Go to the save button and save it. What it is asking? Go to the save button. Reconciliation account only allowed for balance sheets accounts, and data contains errors and you cannot save it. Okay, remove this thing and remove the assets also here and just give it as a Z001. No issue. Z001. No worries. Okay, it is not under balance sheet account, right? Okay, go to the edit cost element, ma'am. Depreciation is same thing. Cost element category is 1. See, while I am giving each and every cost element category to the different types of accounts means we will going to estimate the product details. Okay. The next one. Next one is depreciation is over. Direct selling expenses. Next one is under the expenses. You can just click on the direct selling expenses. Cost element category. Open the cost element category, ma'am. Yes. Open the cost element category. 12 sales deductions. Okay, I'm just giving the sales deductions things and on. No issue. Then next one, sales commission also same thing. Sales commission also same thing. That is sales deductions. Cost element category is a sales deductions. Okay. Right. Then next one, cost of goods sold. Cost of goods manufacturing or things and all, manufacturing expenses and all. That is cost element category is one only. And cost of goods sold also one only. There is no issue. Cost of goods sold also one only. There is no issue. Okay, go to the save button and save it. So till now we have done all these things. Okay, ma'am, whatever the accounts that we have created, and try to write down the all these things in Word document, so that everybody can have clear cut visual in the Word documents also. Okay, and also you would get a lot of information, all of you. And I mean, that may be related to the primary cost elements or secondary cost elements. And we need to write down each and every point in the Word document. Why? Because you don't even know what is happening in the controlling and all. Okay, if you have clear cut information, then in interview point of view, you can able to get each and every point. Okay, and at the same time, interviewer will going to get a lot of knowledge from your experience. Okay. One primary cost elements only. Everything is good. Everything is done, right? Cost of goods sold also. See, what are the accounts that we have created, and just try to write down all these things. Okay. Accounts of primary cost elements. Just write down accounts of primary cost element. Accounts of primary cost element. Accounts of primary cost element. First account is rent account. Second account is salaries account. Third account is raw material consumption account 1. Consumption 1. Then raw material consumption 2. Raw material consumption 2. Then third one, go to that thing, ma'am. We will going to see. Rent account is over, salary account is over, raw material consumption account 1, 2, and wages. And the next one is direct material. Direct material. Then direct selling expenses. Direct selling expenses. The next one, sales commission. Then cost of goods manufacturing. Cost of goods manufacturing. Goods manufacturing. The next one, cost of goods sold account. Cost of goods sold account. Then next one, sales income. I think so. Yes, sales income. Sales income. Sales income. So everything is perfect, right? Then depreciation 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many accounts that we have created? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 accounts we have created. See, you can able to create each and every account under a different types of accounting groups. That is your choice. And I will tell you, ma'am, can you just write down for direct material, open the bracket for direct material. You can just give accounting group as material consumption. Open the bracket, just give material consumption accounting group. Material consumption. See, for your reference only, I'm telling if they ask you anything. So all these accounts you have created under the expenses only. So they will just ask you the question. OK, for that thing, I'm just giving you the accounting group for each and every account. Then for salaries, you can just create one thing, ma'am, that is staff expenses. Open the bracket, staff expenses, staff expenses. For salary account, open the bracket, that is staff expenses. Then sales income, open the bracket, that is sales income only. The next one is depreciation is the another thing, right? So depreciation is the same. And for direct selling expenses, you can just have interest expenses accounting group. Interest expenses accounting group. OK. The next one, interest accounting expenses accounting group. Then next one, sales commission also interest expenses. Sales commission also interest expenses. And cost of goods manufacturing is manufacturing expenses. And cost of goods sold to sell the particular product and all, okay, to any markets, leading marts like D-Mart and more markets like this, you need to have cost of goods sold, right? So for that cost of goods sold, open the bracket, that is manufacturing expenses. Manufacturing expenses. Manufacturing expenses. OK, everything is fine, right? Then next step. So under this thing, second point is display of the cost elements. Second point is display of the cost elements. Display of the cost elements using transaction code KA23. Whatever the cost elements that you have created, you can able to see all these things and the transaction code KA23. Go to the SAP system, ma'am. Go to the SAP system and just give the KA23 transaction code, that is display of the cost element categories. OK, so you can able to have cost element category. What is the cost element? Go to that FS00 transaction code, ma'am. Open the new session. Go to the FS00 transaction code. Go to the new session. FS00. And suppose administration cost. Open the administration cost. Anything or expenses. Rent account is a 400200. Go to that screen, ma'am. K23 screen. 400200. Just give it. Click on the enter. Automatically, you will going to see it. Execute it. OK, so this is the cost element account. OK, display of the cost element account category is a 1. That is primary cost element. OK, everything is good, right? So yes, give /n, ma'am. Give /n. Then next one. What is the next thing? Create secondary cost element using transaction code KA06. Go to the Word document. Just try to have the third configuration, that is create secondary cost element. Create secondary cost element using transaction code KA06. KA06. Now, what we need to do? Ma'am, for secondary cost element, what is the number range that we have created? Do we have any number range? What is the number range? Go to the transaction code KNK, ma'am. Give the controlling area. DOR2. Go to the groups. Create groups. For secondary cost element, double click on this for secondary cost element. Go to the edit option. Edit. Go up. What is the number range? 7. Okay, 7 lakh one. Right. Got it. Give /n, ma'am, and go to the transaction code KA06. Go to the transaction code KA06. Go to the transaction code KA06. And first of all, you need to know what do you mean by secondary cost element? The secondary cost element also. Okay, that is the most important point right now we have. Okay, so secondary cost elements first of all represent the flow of cost internally. Externally, it is a primary cost element. Internally, it is a secondary cost element because these costs are created and used only in cost accounting. That means they are used to secure that the source of costs can be traced. Okay, so these cost elements are used in cost allocations and overhead cost calculations. That simple thing. Again, no need to have the clarification on secondary cost elements. That means whatever the primary cost elements that you are creating based on your estimations of each and everything of the primary cost elements and all, these secondary cost elements are used to secure that the source of costs can be traced. Okay, we should trace the things, right? Based on which parameters you are tracing these things? Based on the secondary cost elements. Okay, that is the useful thing that we have right now. Okay, in controlling. Then you can just give them 7 lakh 1. 7 lakh 1. Create secondary cost element 7 lakh. KA06. Go to the transaction code KA06. Go to the transaction code KA06. Okay, and at the cost element, you can just give 7 lakh 1. 7 lakh 1. Click on the enter. Yes, what is the name? So canteen assessment cost element. You can just give canteen assessment. I'm just giving you the normal names. Okay. Canteen assessment. Okay, you can just write down canteen assessment cost element. And cost element category is a 42. I think so. That is assessment only. Canteen assessment cost element. See, canteen assessment cost element is nothing but it's not about the food expenses. It is just about the rents, salaries, anything. Okay. And can you give the 42, ma'am? That is assessment only. Can you give the 42? Good. Go to the save button and save it. Good. Then next one. Next one. 7 lakh. 7 lakh 2. 7 lakh 2. Click on the enter. Material indirect overheads. Okay, when it comes to raw material consumptions and all, we do have material indirect overheads, right? Material. You can just write down, man, material overheads. And in the description, you can just mention material indirect overheads cost element. Material indirect overheads cost element. You can just write down that thing. And cost element category is a overheads. That means 41. I think so. Take out the 41. Yes. Go to the save button and save it. Then next one. 7 lakh 3. 7 lakh 3. Okay. That is department depreciation. Department just DEPT space depreciation. DEPRECIATION. In department depreciation. That is just write down department depreciation. And the next one is cost element category is activity. That is allocations of the machine hours. We can call it as an activity. 43. 43. Good. Go to the save button and save it. The next one. The next one. The next one. 7 lakh 3. That is employee cost test or labor direct. You can just write down employee cost. You can just write down employee cost. Yes, you can just write down employee cost. Employee cost. Activity, ma'am. Same thing. Like allocations of the hours, right? So whoever is working more or whoever is working in the meantime, okay, definitely we will give the or we will pay the amount to the particular employee. The next one, material assessment overhead cost, like material assumption, sorry, material consumptions and all, right? For that thing, material assessment overhead cost. Material assessment overhead, OH cost element. OH cost element, and the cost element category is a 42. Cost element category is a 42. Okay. Then next one, marketing assessment overhead cost, or else marketing overheads. You can just give it marketing overheads. That is OH. That is 42. Cost element category is a 42. So that's it. So go to the Word document, ma'am, and try to give the cost elements. Try to write down under the cost element, secondary cost element. Just try to write down. Just try to write down. Just try to write down. One important, that is same thing, ma'am. 7 lakh 1 canteen assessment. 7 lakh 1 canteen assessment. Give the cost element, secondary cost element category also. That is so no. Secondary cost element number, that is 7 lakh 1 space canteen assessment. Canteen assessment. Okay, 7 lakh 2 material overheads. 7 lakh 2 material overheads. 7 lakh 2 material overheads. 7 lakh 3 department depreciation. Material overheads. Then 7 lakh 3 the department overheads. Sorry, department depreciation overheads. We can call it as department depreciation overheads. That is OH. Then 7 lakh 1 is over. 7 lakh 2, 7 lakh 3, 7 lakh 4. Employee cost. Employee cost. 7 lakh 4 employee cost. 7 lakh 5 material assessment overheads. Material assessment overheads. Material assessment overheads. Then next 7 lakh 6 marketing assessment overheads. marketing, assessments, overheads. See the next configuration, whatever the cost elements that we have created, and we need to set up all these cost elements under the cost element groups. Okay, next configuration is creation of the cost element group. Create cost element group using transaction code KAH1. Using transaction code KAH1. Okay. Now go to the cost. Go to the SAP system, ma'am. Go to the SAP system and give transaction code KAH1. Give transaction code KAH1. Cost element group. Just give, ma'am, DUR1 solution. DUR1 solution. Okay. Click on the enter, ma'am. No. DUR1 space underscore. You can just give cost element category DUR1 underscore solution. Click on the enter, ma'am. Why it is invalid? Go to the drop down option, ma'am. Remove the cost element group star, ma'am. Just give DUR1. DUR1. Description is also DUR1. Go to the continue option, ma'am. The entries you have selected don't contain a cost element group. Okay, remove this thing. Remove this thing. See, we are creating cost element. Why it is asking? Click on the enter, or else remove the one, ma'am. Here, remove the one. Give slash and once again. Go to the transaction KAH1. KAH1. Click on the enter. Name DUR1 is invalid. Okay, what we need to do is just remove the one here, DUR1, that one. In that thing, remove the one. Click on the enter. Why it is asking name is invalid? Remove all these things, ma'am. Remove this thing. Remove it. Remove the cost element group also. Cost element group also. Go to the drop down option. Click on the continue option. See, we are creating one group. Why it is not allowing? The entries you have selected don't contain a cost element category, a cost element group. We are creating it. Remove this thing. Give DUR. No, good. So under this thing, you can just give, ma'am. Description is DUR1 solution materials. DUR1 solution materials. Solution materials. Okay. Click on the enter. Go to the save button. Good. Then click on the cost element. Here there is a cost element. Okay, right. So give all the GL accounts, ma'am. All the GL accounts. No. What you need to do is like take out this sales income. Sales income. Then next one. Next one. Go to the drop down option. Rent account, salary account, like this till primary cost elements. No need to give any secondary cost elements and all. Administration rent account, administration salary account. Then next step. Rent account, salary account is there, and depreciation account. Depreciation. Have you given the depreciation account also? Then next one. Raw material consumption account. Do it fast. Click on the enter. Good. Direct materials, indirect materials, cost of goods sold account, rent account, raw material account, wages account, direct materials accounts. Things and all. Okay, everything is fine. Go to the save button and save it. Go to the save button and save it. Okay, so this is about complete cost, create cost elements like primary cost elements and secondary cost elements. We no need to give secondary cost elements in the cost element group. Okay, why? Because it is just for the process estimation. Okay, whatever the things that you are doing in primary cost elements and on, all these will be sent to the particular secondary cost elements for the estimation of the process. Okay, so this is about complete create cost elements. Okay, primary cost elements and secondary cost elements. And in the next class, we will going to see cost center accounting. Okay, how we are creating cost centers groups. Okay, and cost centers based on the cost center standard hierarchy. Okay.